what are some lessons that you can give to filmmakers out there about working with actors that may not be, necessarily common knowledge?
I would say, I mean, every filmmaker is different, so I think everybody has to find their own way of working with actors. I would say number one, it's never a bad thing to spend time acting yourself and spending time, whether it's in like scene class or in the theater. I think that's really helpful because it gives you the ideas of the challenges they face when they're acting. I think working in theater is really good for directors because I think it makes them less afraid of rehearsal, which I think a lot of directors have an idea of rehearsal as somehow killing a performance. And I think that if you get good actors who know what they're doing, they're only going to get deeper and better by having rehearsal. And so I think it's really about the rehearsal process more than anything else, because once you're shooting it, you're really shooting a schedule. So you got to keep going. And so the time to be creative and try things out is in rehearsal. So I would say act yourself and figure out how to rehearse.
Yeah. There's sort of like a debate always, is rehearsal helpful for filmmaking versus theater? For you, do you see it pretty much even?
I think it's even. Yeah. I think I think there are certain actors who probably they don't like rehearsal. I think for when you're working with children, probably they do well without rehearsal. But I think with really good actors who are just who really have craft, they get better. They always get better, and it really feels lived in.
Yeah. I was curious for you, when you get a script and you're preparing, do you start making notes or sort of making any choices, whether it be wardrobe or anything specific?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, particularly with Maggie's plan, because Rebecca and I had a very long time before we actually made the movie. That process really happened with her. We went on shopping trips for Maggie for things that we thought she'd wear. We were trading poems and articles and books and talking about her a lot. And I sort of start gathering little pieces of what I think the person is, because as much as you want to build an entire person and know everything about them, I think in some ways what I look for are almost like talismans of who the person is, and that feel like they open up a window for me instead of having a comprehensive autobiographical knowledge, because that's almost impossible to do, but you feel like you can get these little threads that feel like they're alive.